My sister's a what? A rumor that destroyed my sister, started by an EG and her EF, entitled Family. Now, before people say this did not happen, it did, and it cost my sister a lot of self-esteem. My sister passed in October of 2019 due to a medical issue and an overdose of medication that she mixed up. She broke her back in 2002, causing her no end of pain and endless surgeries. Between 1993 and 1999, my sister was doing modeling for various companies in Colorado and Texas. She was actually told her junior year she would be suspended from our uppity and rather boring high school in Texas. She did it anyway because it was just her hobby. Now, in 1996 to 1997, she did some really cool commercials that she made a lot of money on. If you want to ask me what commercials, just PM me and I can give you the links to them. I have nothing to hide. I was really proud of her, so I thought her friends could be too. I couldn't be more wrong. After a commercial that she did, the money she got she put away in a college fund. She also made sure I ended up with some too. I didn't find out until my senior year of high school. We also got to be extras in an upcoming miniseries, where I got a chance to meet Stephen King. We arrived at our high school pretty jazzed when it started near mid-August. I had told a few friends about it and we kind of just made sure my sister knew she was awesome. But one of her friends, whose parents were a little too religious, did not think so. It all started with a complaint my sister made about a fellow model, we will call her E, that kind of got the ball rolling. She told our mum that E was doing heroin and she did not want to work with him in the future. She also caught E, who was staying with us between photo shoots, stealing from us. Namely because I had some rare things. My sister also complained about him to the wrong person. Her then friend, EG, during a sleepover. As we started the school year, my sister did a big commercial, and she showed up in new clothes. Well, so did I. Anyway, it all started with our lockers being searched. My sister and I switched lockers because we were close to each other, and I complained I was too short for a top locker, and she was way too tall for a short one. We told the office we switched it, and it was okay. Well, that morning came, and I found my locker open with my school bag and binders all on the floor. We were told to go to the office and explain why our lockers were switched. Apparently, no one told the school administrators we did it, and no one made note of the switch. I was also informed I had to remove all my Sailor Moon pictures from my binders as they were not complying with school, whatever it was. I requested to call my mother, which was allowed while my sister was taken into a separate office. Okay, my mum is entitled, no ifs or buffs about it. She was furious and we were pulled out for the day. Apparently, my sister's EG friend told people that the modeling gigs were all lies and my sister was selling drugs. Well, my friends and hers were all confused, because they knew my sister modeled since 7th grade and were wondering why EG was spreading all these rumors. One of my friends who was in cheerleading with EG confronted her. Apparently, what my friend told me was pretty much this: if she's really a model, she'd have tutors and not be here in school with us. She's either a prostitute or dealing in drugs. I was floored, because both my friend and I had seen the commercials, and also how much work my sister did during the summer for these gigs. EG confronted me while I was working as a student aide in the special ed department. She asked me how much my sister made per gig, and how many other models she knew. All these questions I did not know. Her modeling gigs were during times I was either in clubs, at school, or babysitting my neighbor's kid. All I did was turn around, asked, "So, when will I get my copy of Interview with the Vampire back from you? It's been 3 months." EG told me her father had destroyed it and said it was proof enough that he could call CPS on my mother. She walked away, and I realized how screwed this was and told my sister, who said she'd handled it. She couldn't handle it. The damage EG did was done. My sister was branded a tramp, and worse by several people who had no idea what was going on, which probably, it's not tramp and tramp, sorry about that. She also turns down 3 shoots, though one was with E, so she was happy to be rid of him. By then, he started to stalk her off and on, calling her and demanding to go on dates. I have another story for that. EG made problems worse when she said I was in on my sis being on drugs, which I just couldn't believe someone would say that. This was proven false when several friends of mine and my sister backed us up. One of the people backing me up was someone I thought was a bully. Finally, a headshot was found in my sister's locker that proved that she was a model. In fact, I was forced back into my top locker and tapped the picture to my door, so when I opened it, people would see it. EG demanded I take it down or be suspended. I, violating no rule, demanded her to try. EG was soon called out, and many of my sister's friends were angry enough to demand she be banned from the cheerleading. The captain of the squad actually got approval because EG caused enough drama. But EG's entitled father decided to actually demand us to place my sister in rehab. In fact, that demanded that my mum donate all my sister's earned money from her modeling to their church. I remember this phone call because EG's father couldn't be bothered to come to our house to confront us. He decided to call us. He also threatened Child Protective Services, and because I was special ed, that I should be in a special school. My mum was yelling so loud over the phone, I swear you could hear down the street. By now, my sister was crying nearly every day and transferred to a new school. It ended up in the news in 1999 for bad reasons. My sister's self-esteem hit an all-time low, and she did end up smoking because of it. She did some modeling gigs and started dating E, much to her dislike of the jerk. After all of this, EG got her way. My sister was no longer at the school the rest of the year. I was okay when I was bullied, but I was not okay when it was my sister. I got into a few arguments with EG, and all around wanted to smack the crap out of her. We moved soon after, before my senior year. I was ticked, but it was for my sister's sake. What sucked was EG found me when we moved back at a local community college, and begged me not to tell her policeman buddies what she did to my sister. I told her fine, but I told her one thing she had to obey. If she showed up at my anime club, I would have her escorted out by the police, and I would file a restraining order. And since I was at the college way before she would have to drop out. She complied, but called me a tramp for telling me she was banned from the anime club, of which she liked. I plainly told her I didn't give a crap about what she liked. She hurt my sister, and it was my turn to crap on EG's parade. I told her this before parting. Party's over, princess. You're in my territory now. Have a nice day. Karma is a bitch. She never got to join the FBI, because guess who was really doing drugs? Wasn't my sister. Now, if you have any doubts, and how long this story was, ask. Don't assume it's fake. When I bore witness to my sister's self-esteem going rock bottom, I still hear her crying and asking how she did anything wrong. She just made one lousy friend, and it all came crashing down. Edit, since so many asked for the commercials, here are the two. Thank you for the support and love. And our next story was posted by user Autistic Artist, titled, Entitled Dad tells me it's perfectly fine to blow off steam on me, but loses his crap when I snap from stress, stops me from getting breakfast, and kicks me out into the hot summer in Greece with no sunscreen and nowhere to go. Okay, backstory time. I hate my dad, his parents, and my stepmother. I have posted about his parents and my stepmother, but not my dad himself. When I was a child, my brother, who's autistic like me, would regularly throw crap at me, hit me, bite me, and punch me. My dad gave him no punishment, even when he watched and continued to enable this behavior, until I started fighting back. My brother has attempted to drown and suffocate me, and my father did nothing at all. He married my stepmother and had my half-brother later on. Well, after this it stopped due to me getting stronger than my younger brother and fighting back. All this time, my grandparents had attempted to convert me and my brother to Christianity. To this day, my brother is agnostic and I'm a pagan. Yes, you are welcome to ask me stuff about my religion. They started getting verbally abusive, my stepmother joining in. My dad enabled this behavior and denied it happened even when he witnessed it. My father and stepmother had forced me and my brother to come along with them on a holiday to Greece. I was 13 and my brother was 11 or 12. They took my 1-ish-year-old half-brother too. Our cast are ED, pile of crap, me, mouse eater, B, male sibling, EM, entitled stepmother, HB, half-brother, which is the entitled dad and entitled mother's kid, KS, kind stranger, M, my and brother's mother, no relation to half-brother. Story. Me, brother, entitled dad, mother, and half-brother were walking to a restaurant to get breakfast. Brother, entitled mother, and half-brother were in front of me, and entitled dad. Entitled dad tried to talk with me. Entitled mother had already yelled at me about my pajamas. I didn't process her asking me to put them somewhere the first few times she said it. Fellow autistics will know what I mean. That day, which I brought up with entitled dad. Me, tired of his talking about how nice entitled mother is, I say, she yelled at me over pajamas and wouldn't stop until I cried. Entitled dad says back, she was just blowing off steam, it's fine. Me, stepping from the stress of the holiday plus a few other factors I'd prefer not to mention. So you're saying it's fine for your precious wife to blow off steam on me, a young teenager, but I'm not allowed to call her out on it? You won't stop spoiling her. Same with my grandparents. You won't stop defending them and enabling their behavior. That's not true. They love you dearly. You watched them insult my mother and religion, then scream in my face after dragging me across a room violently by the arm. No, they didn't do that. Stop lying. You always pretend the past never happened. Your parents did everything I said they did, and you watched. Stop being a spineless Dumbo and stand up for your kids. Entitled dad snaps and yells, just go somewhere else. I don't care where, just get out of my sight. I protest and tell him that he's a bad father for everything that he's done. Keep in mind, this is Greece in the summer, and none of us have sunscreen, since the restaurant was really close and indoors. He keeps yelling at me until I leave. I found out later from brother that he victimized himself, and he said that I said the most horrible things about his parents. He also acted like I did it unprompted, and when brother called him out for kicking me without any breakfast, water or sunscreen, he said I deserved it, and entitled mother agreed with him. I, of course, am getting sunburn all over my shoulders, limbs, and face. I'm really dehydrated and tired. So I find KS, who has his phone out, and ask if I can call my mom. He says yes, I call her, and she picks up. Bring. Hello? Me, quickly and briefly, explained what happened, furious. So mom says back, okay, go to the reception and get a spare key card to your room. Then grab your phone and headphones and wait at the reception. I'm calling your father to have him explain himself. I give KS his phone back and he wishes me luck. Thanks, kind stranger. Very cool. She apparently chewed his ass out and he denied that it happened. After getting lost several times in the huge-ass resort we were staying in, I find reception, our room, then eventually reception again. I sit there, get some water from the water cooler, and cool down a lot from the air conditioning. He faced no charges due to me being too scared to call the police. I know I probably should have, but I doubted they'd believe me. I really wish I did, because he might have been given a sentence or justice of any kind. I'm now being pressured by people I know to make up with him. Thanks for a place to vent, Reddit. Yeah, no worries, buddy. Our next story was posted by a user, Moonrider257812, titled, Karen's son breaks the sun? Now, this happened to me this past May. A friend of mine just got a doctor degree in physics with a bachelor in astronomy. Her friends and I wanted to throw her a party and wish her luck on her career. She just got a job at an assistant researcher. She wants to work for NASA later in life. Her friends arranged a small party at a small cozy cafe. The cafe has a ground floor level and an upstairs with limited seating, which you can request for a small private event. English is my first language, and I am a grammar fool. Let's meet the cast of characters. Me as OP, EK and EKS, Karen, and the crotch goblin 10-year-old son named Kyle that acted just like Karen. KPF, Karen's party friend, who exiles her from the mum group. GGF, graduate girl's friend, who organized this party. GG, graduate girl, who has celebrated her degree. CE, cafe employee, who is our server. CM, cafe manager, who is happy to ban Entitled Karen, and Entitled Karen's son. I go meet her friends and help set up for her small party. We decorate the small room with star-themed stuff like stars, planets, constellations, and lights. The party girl arrives, and we all yell, "Surprise!" We get seated and order our food. Small plates, poo-poos, and each one of us got her a gift for getting her doctorate degree. She's all happy. So, we are all at our table eating and talking, having a good time, while another table is full of gifts for her. We head out to the balcony to take a group photo, and we hear a loud crash, like something glass or ceramic fell and shattered on the floor. We rush inside and see a crotch goblin ruffling through her gifts, and he is screaming about glass on the floor. I look to see that he dropped my gift to my friend, a glass paperweight in the shape of the sun. So a beautiful orange glitter sun orb. My friend, the waiter who served us earlier with a broom and bucket. He cleans up the glass and goes to dispose of it. I go and calm down my friend and hear this banshee-like shriek. I turn around and see this ugly landwhale version of a Karen looking at me with her 10-year-old son Kyle, who then punches a drywall and sips a whole bunch of Monster Energy drink, wearing a smug grin. She looked like a fatter, older version of Helga Fugly from the Oblongs. So I say to them, "Who the frick are you?" Karen says,
"Don't you curse at me, boy. Why did you millennials throw glass on the floor? Are you trying to hurt my angel?"
"Lady, this is a private event, not some birthday for your hellspawn.
Leave!
And take your man-repellent egg offspring with you."
"Why, you little crap! I will call the cops on you for swearing and hurting my little angel. I am friends with the owner of the cafe. Give me the party gifts and money, and I won't tell the owner to throw you guy out of this place."
Entitled Karen's son goes,
"Yeah, we're friends with the owner of this cafe. You have to listen to us, or we get you banned from going to this place. I want the gifts and money. I want Star Wars stuff."
GGF.
"Look, Karen, first, none of the gifts are Star Wars related. Second, can you not read when it says private party? Third, the owner of the cafe is my second cousin."
Me, I say, "Now frick off and leave us alone." CE, in a very African twist, goes, "Madam, please lower your voice. Your son went into a private party and started to unwrap gifts that are not his." Karen chimes in again and goes,
"Your generation is so stupid and lazy. You need to listen to your elders."
CM comes out and is fuming. And in a very Scottish accent, she goes, "Lady, I saw your kid unwrapping the gifts and come upstairs uninvited to the party. And your party is downstairs, so take your kid and leave. I'm also going to tell the party that they are not allowed to be back here and tell them about your out-of-control kid." Karen snaps back,
"But these thugs hurt my angel."
And CM says again in a Scottish accent, "I watched what went on the security cameras." CM turns to us and apologizes and comps our meal and gives GG around $300 to replace any broken gifts from the kid. Yep, that's exactly what was said. Entitled Karen and Entitled Karen's son leave, going downstairs with the kid still crying about wanting Star Wars toys. I take GG out on the balcony to help her further calm down and enjoy the nice weather. I walk away, trying to cool my anger about the brat who broke my gift. I hear this loud yell downstairs. I turn and look over the balcony and see Karen getting yelled at by all these well-dressed ladies. KPF says to her,
"This is why we can't go nice places. Your kid is out of control. I love their pesto chicken sandwich here. This is the last strike. You are banned and take your demon with you."
Later, GGF arranged a small picnic, and everyone re-gifted their presents to GG if their gifts got damaged by Karen's evil human deposit. I got her another Sun paperweight. She loves it. My voice is destroyed after that one. And our next story was posted by user Ahsoka-Lives2223, titled, "Entitled Mother Yells at My Son in the Middle of Church and Makes Him Cry." For context, this is not my story. This is not my brother's story. This is my classmate's older brother's story. We were rehearsing for our church's Christmas program when this happened, okay? I do not even like this boy. He's always been rude and arrogant, not to mention acting in the middle of class. But after seeing this, I can't help but wonder if he is emotionally abused because his younger siblings act the same way. For those who don't know, abused children will act out to get attention. On to the case. EM is entitled Minge. US is Upset Son. Some. Some? Now, Upset Some has a solo in one song, but it's slightly outside of his range. He tried to make his voice go to the range, causing it to crack. I wouldn't know what voice cracks are. EM is a music teacher, and as soon as rehearsal is let out, EM starts screaming at him in the middle of the foyer where everyone can see them. This is a little I heard before we hurried out of there to try and not embarrass him further. Entitled Mother, "I have taught you for years how to sing. You've been rehearsing this song for months. How could you mess it up?" Upset Some didn't even respond. He just sat down and started crying. I don't care if he messed up. He was upset enough about it. Then his mother started yelling at him in public. You never yell at your child in public, and you never yell at your child for trying to make something perfect. And our next story, probably last one, was posted by user Nickels and Dimes 101, titled, "She threw turkey at my co-worker." It's a repost from Entitled People, just got enough comment karma to post here. Now, hold on to your hats folks, this'll take a minute. Sorry for the format, it's on mobile device. And warning for anyone that's reading this on the phone, there is some terrible formatting on the way. Now, this story happened a while ago. I just happened to remember when telling a friend to post it here. Our cast are EM, you know who, NK1, probably about 13, Nice Kids 2, probably around 5, AM, Awesome Manager, and PC, Poor Coworker, and me, M. Right, here we go. Some backstory. I worked at a grocery store. Won't name names, but it lurks in Florida, mainly, and is only found elsewhere once or twice. God, can you just imagine an entire grocery store lurking around Florida? It's like stalking people. Anyway, starts with P, ends with X, and in my opinion, has the best chicken tender subs anywhere. Well, in this store, I worked in the deli. We made subs, sold fried chicken, meals, rotisserie chicken, and also freshly sliced deli meat to the person's liking. I have dealt with many a Karen, and whatever the male equivalent is, that would be a Kyle, as it is a food service. And this type of store goes out of its way to follow the customer is always right, and if you don't like it, we will fix it for you policy. On to the story. I was on the evening shift. Started about 1230, 12:30. Well, a few hours into the shift, in walks the Karen. Dun dun dun! She very much looked exactly like the Karen that I'd heard about, but I thought nothing of it. She was not my customer, as my PC handled her. Slicing, you know it. The turkey she asked for. This particular turkey was our store brand, and was pale and without any seasoning. He slices the turkey to her standards, weighs it, packages it, and hands her the bag. Nice Kid 1 and 2 both patiently waiting and nibbling the slice of cheese I'd given them from our samples, with their mother's permission, of course. Alright, hold on to your hats. This is where the formatting gets terrible. She takes it, stares at it, as if he'd just handed her a bag of toes. Total disgust on her face. He asks her if anything was wrong. Now my PC was brand new, so I wandered closer to make sure everything was okay. She took a deep breath and started.
This spot on the turkey! This turkey is bad! How could you sell this?
And lifts the bag so he can see. He looks at it, then at me. I looked at the spot and saw the darkened spot. Ah, I knew what it was. I stepped in. Ma'am, I promise you all of our meat in the case is fresh as possible, and we monitor all the dates every day at every shift. That is a protein spot. It sometimes happens. I promise it is totally harmless. She shook her head and almost screeched. No! I know what this is! It's melanoma! At this point, I had to hold back a giggle. Melanoma is a skin cancer. She continues, my husband works at a meat farm. He knows all about this. It's dangerous. I can't believe you'd sell something with melanoma on it. Oh dear reader, it took everything in me not to laugh. Well, after this last proclamation, she hurled the turkey at my PC, who was totally taken aback at everything that was happening before his eyes. Her Nice Kid 1 was obviously embarrassed by her mother making a scene in the store, and Nice Kid 2, probably too young to understand the embarrassment, just sat in the cart. I want to speak to AM! She called AM by her name, the assistant manager, so I assumed she'd been around before, just never while on my shifts. I sent PC to get the assistant manager and picked up the turkey. Shaking my head, I put it in the case. Since it was already sliced, we could probably use it for samples. Don't worry, it was wrapped in many layers of plastic, and I changed the outside bag before putting it back. While she talked, yelled at my assistant manager, I went into the back to my other co-workers, who had hidden when she started screaming, and explained the whole story. We all laughed and joked about it, and while you couldn't hear us through the door, she probably saw me come back, and I could hear her. Yes, still screaming. She was that loud. And now they're laughing at me! Yes, we were, lady. I walked out just in time to hear assistant manager say, I'm sure that we can fix this, and I'll cut the meat myself. Assistant manager asked me to grab another brand new turkey from the cold storage in the back, and entitled mother got her turkey and left. Her Nice Kid mortified, and the 5-year-old oblivious. Maybe this happened a lot. The funniest thing about this, she probably meant to say salmonella, which is something poultry and eggs have when undercooked. Our turkey is all thoroughly cooked and kept properly. Oh, Karen. Well, apparently someone in the comments says they know what store they're talking about. Been a couple of times that they go on a family vacation to Walt Disney World. Very interesting. Anyway guys, I know that this episode was a bit of a piss take, yes, but those stories were just too funny not to narrate them like that. I know some of you guys complain when I narrate it in a funny way, and I don't always want to do it because now my voice is absolutely destroyed after yelling so much, but hey, I had fun with it, and I'll continue to do these kinds of episodes when I feel like it. Hey guys, everyone in the comments, I know I don't reply to you much, but do continue to comment. I'll like them and reply to them when I can. I'm very lazy, as you can tell. There was like 6 days there again when I said I'd post every day, and I'm like, how about I just take a break anyway? That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, guys, I think this will be one of 2 episodes uploaded today, and I'll get back to you when I can. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.